Chafing Armor Podcast, Episode 161, Forgotten Kingdom. Welcome back to the Chafing Armor Podcast. I'm your host and lovable Dungeon Master, Michael Corley, and with me tonight is Izzy. Izzy, tell everyone who you will be playing.
Hello everyone, I'm Izzy, playing half-orc barbarian, Marizi Mugra.
Wonderful. And also with us tonight is Lee. Lily, tell us the name of your character as it is now.
Did you just call me Lily?
Did I? If I did, it's very funny.
I heard Lily.
Lily.
Well, g'day everybody, my name is now Lily, and I'm playing Corvus Dragonchoke, the brand new Were-Raven.
Wonderful. Yes, Were-Raven. Corvus is a wonderful addition to the party, even though he was already there. And also with us, a wonderful diminutive addition is Dare. Dare, tell us who you will be playing.
Howdy, y'all. I'm Dare, and I'm playing the mighty diminutive paladin of Garl Glittergold, Tix Birchmanson.
Indubitably. And also with us tonight is James. James, tell us who you will be playing.
Oh, that's me. Hi, I'm James, and I'm playing Penton Chalice, a spell scale sorcerer.
Yes, and last but absolutely not least, either in stature or in companions, is Riley. Riley, tell us who you will be playing.
Hi, I'm Riley, and I'm playing Athora Greyfield, a tiefling fighter with some snow magic.
That's right. Let it snow, let it snow. When we last left our players, they were on a timed mission. Always a fun one when you're playing an MMORPG, where they have to retrieve the second half of the Staff of Seraphim before the date. However, we should note a couple of things. One, that date was impingent on the fact that it was a threat that the Crack-Lithid would attack the shores. But, Penton, why is that not an immediate threat?
The clock is broken because, I kind of banished him to somewhere. Another plane. We don't know where.
Be gone, fuck!
Penton is the son of a very powerful dragon, and using his incredible banishment powers, just noped out that Crack-Lithid, which was an incredible skill. Of course, you guys are, my brain, you're level 10, right?
Yep.
Think so.
Level 10 players are the kind who do challenge really powerful creatures. You, however, still very much do want to retrieve the second half of the Staff of Seraphim, if for no other reason, so that nobody else gets it. Before the villains do, because your understanding is that while it is wild, uncontrolled magic, anyone who takes hold of this staff, broken or not, is able to wield it. While swimming down using various methods of water breathing, all of you and the monk Taka, with their incredible silver arm, is swimming down to the lair of the Kraken, or now Crack-Lithid, when you were all hit by a psychic blast. Now, we all know that I, the amazing Dungeon Master with impeccable notes and perfect memory, I know exactly what happened when you all got hit with that psychic blast. But, just in case some of my listeners didn't hear, I'm going to go ahead and let y'all re-roll again. Not because I forgot completely what the results of those rolls were, but just because I'm so nice.
Or so benevolent.
Well, thank you. I appreciate you letting us do that.
Yeah.
What kind of saving throw is that?
So this is going to be a willpower saving roll.
I can do that.
You are all being struck by a psychic blast. I should note, just for combat purposes, because you are all being hit in combat, you have all elected to leave your various pets with up above, mainly because a lot of them need to breathe air,
right.
And some of them who don't, like, say, the wonderful rock elemental, is going to sink. So they are all currently on the ship Pisswhistle, which is being repaired by the crew and by Penton's mother. We cut back to our players as this wave of psychic blast washes over you, and I need everyone to tell me what your roll was. Vincent, what did you get?
New Mountain Dew Psychic Blast. It is 21.
21. Okay, and Athora?
What did you say we're adding? I'm sorry, I spaced out.
No, it's okay. It's a willpower
Willpower.
saving throw.
Okay, then that is a 22.
22. Impressive. And Marezi?
8.
That's okay. Well, it is very consistent with the Marezi.
Sure.
That makes perfect sense. And
Her will has been weak lately. She's been through a lot psychically with, whole family issues.
I think that is perfect. Like, she is still in psychic PTSD from meeting up with her family all of a sudden, and also with killing a god. Speaking of I can do that, Tix.
That's a 15 plus 12, so 27.
Dang.
27, that's amazing. And of course, the ineffable, uncomparable Corvus. What did you get?
15.
15. Okay. So you are all, and I want to be clear, it is very murky, it is very dark. You are way further down than any of you have ever swam. All of you are using different methods to breathe underwater. Some of you more cumbersome than others, particularly Benton, because you will not use magical items, correct?
Correct.
Yes. So there is a very interesting what I would like to know, and I'm not like trying to get y'all or anything, but who is holding the eternal cup or vial of air that is holding it out for Penton? Who would be doing that?
Wasn't it Taka?
It would
I think
totally
it might
make
have
sense to
been.
be Taka.
Yeah, I think it was
Yeah,
Taka.
It would totally make sense to me.
Taka and
Yeah.
because they were both dependent on that cup.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, plus I
well,
think we were
Taka
able to
rolled-
confer about the state, the staff is more because we're both kind of the magic thing while we're getting
Right.
close to there. So yeah,
So Taka rolled a 19, and also Taka is a high-level monk. So you can imagine how resistant they are to this sort of thing. So Corvus and Marezi, you immediately not only fall unconscious, but you fall into a living nightmare.
Ah.
You see a world uncounted. You see a realm beyond a realm. You see what the mind flayers see when they dream. You see the realm that these unnatural creatures came from, and your minds recoil from it.
Far realm
both of you-
moments.
Both of you see multi-tentacled creatures flailing at you through the darkness. Mostly Corvus, who spent more time there just recently. The closest thing to this is the astral plane, but it is more corrupted and dark and dangerous. And I would like both of you to actually make a reflex saving throw. Even though this is happening in your mind, that is how this works.
25.
25, okay. And Corvus?
Same, 25.
That's amazing. So you both take half damage. So that is 21 halved. So you both take 10 points of psychic damage.
Does my
As these,
evasion come into this?
Yeah, I will absolutely allow it because I said it is dexterity. So even though this is happening in your mind is reacting to it as a physical attack. So I will allow you to use the evasion. You both are not grappled, but you do not take damage. To Marissa, you take 10 points of psychic damage. All of you around them see both of them immediately fall unconscious and then begin to jerk spasmodically. Their eyes open and their pupils are white. And they are in the middle of underneath a psychic attack. You can see down below there is literally, not metaphorically, literally a crack in the sea floor, and there is There is a glow coming out of it. It is not a baleful blue glow. It does not look like a portal. It literally looks like a cavern entrance, but just literally a giant crack about 20 feet across. And you don't need to guess that the attack came from somewhere in there. What would y'all like to do?
So
That's what Rezzy's doing.
Tix will swim over and grab, or try and grab Morezi and,
From what I remember, Corvus was wearing the undead cloak, so it doesn't matter.
You are not drowning, that is correct. And Morezi has taken a potion of water breathing.
yeah.
So, which
She has the armor, doesn't
Corvus
she?
negotiated.
Yeah, I thought. Yeah.
Oh,
Morezi
I'm
was
sorry.
who
No.
has the fancy
You're
armor.
sorry. I'm thinking of the other ones. No, you're
I
absolutely right.
forgot about that. Yeah,
Yeah,
I just have
Rezzy's-
magic armor.
Yeah, your armor was upgraded by none other than the lizard god, which you just found out recently allows you to breathe underwater. So both of you are not drowning. You are just helpless at the moment. So Tix, I am going to allow you to... You don't have to roll to grab Morezi. However, your speed is now halved as you are dragging this, orc, 6 foot whatever orc through the water.
Well, we're
anyone-
descending, so
Yes.
I'm not really worried about that. I just
Sure.
want to make sure that they're okay and try and wake them up and cast protection from evil on Morezi.
Okay. So that is instantly successful. As soon as you cast that, Morezi, you immediately come back to yourself. You feel the psychic damage in your brain, and there's like an after image of that horrible place that you just were. And is anyone going to do anything with
Corvus.
Corvus, who is bobbing about?
Yeah, actually, I was just considering doing the same thing, so I will follow suit and cast protection from evil on Corvus.
Okay. Corvus, you are floating in this strange realm, and you see something that you are not expecting. So there's no expecting when you're in a bizarre nonsense world. So you are somewhat surprised to see a beautiful drow woman just kind of float up to you, and she gently caresses your cheek. And you do not recognize her, by the way. And she leans into your ear and she whispers, "Oh, so kind." And then you wake with a start, and you are now hurtling down towards this crack. What would y'all like to do? Your spell was completely successful, Benton.
Okay.
Waking him.
Let's see. Does anybody have good vision, like dark vision, to be able to see what's going on down in the crack as we're approaching it?
I have 60 feet of dark vision.
I have low light vision, so I can see.
I have dark vision.
Anyone who has that sort of vision, please give me a spot check. Just rattle off what y'all got.
For low light or dark vision?
Both are acceptable because I said there's literally light coming out from this crack. So there is light. It's just very, very, very dim because you're way underwater.
Okay, with a
7.
7.
spot, I am at 23.
23.
I
Okay.
have 17.
17. So Tix, you are the only one who spots this. As you are coming down, you can see the water, of course, waving around. There's bits of detritus floating through the water. And you can make out that there is basically a bubble just beyond the crack. And it seems to cover the entire circumference of the crack.
Okay, so Tix will make the shape of a sphere or a bubble and point which direction we should swim, and start pulling Morezi in that direction.
Cool.
And she's awake now.
I think Morezi kind of shakes her arm off of Tix, like, I can do it myself.
Well, and in fact, you can swim faster than anyone because while you're wearing your armor, you can swim as fast as you can run.
Whoa,
which is
that's pretty fast.
So you're essentially twice as fast as everyone else because underwater your speed is halved.
Cool.
Okay.
Morezi.
So Tix holds on to the back of Morezi.
Okay,
that makes sense.
Canon accepted. This is you do upsies and she can just rocket through. Are you going to head through the crack first, Morezi?
I think I'm gonna. Yes, I am a torpedork. Thank you, Lee. I think I'm going to. I think Morezi is a little bit. She doesn't want to like rush in totally alone right now. That's maybe a slightly younger Morezi would have, but she's going to just wait at the entrance when she gets there for everyone else.
Gotcha. This is it is just shy of 3 years since the beginning of the Chafing Armor, saga. So you literally have grown in wisdom and power, and so a younger Morezi would have charged right through.
Yeah, I think I think I said that Morezi was 16, which is like 18 in orc years, and I certainly feel different now, 3 years older than 16. So you swim up like, and then kind of like do that little bob up, and you find again that you could just move almost supernaturally well in the water, and you realize what a good thing that was. I was about to have a lot of fun with y'all. Do y'all remember the episode where we spent the whole time with Osokai falling to his death?
Yes.
Yeah. Down below that is vast openness. So imagine we've all like gone off the slide at a water park, and there's that one moment where you're just plummeting and there's nothing beneath you. So
speak for yourself. Never been to a water park.
They're amazing, but that moment is terrifying the first time, and it is. You actually don't know how far down it goes, and if you had just plummeted right through, there might not have been anything that could have been done by anybody.
Neat.
So you realize in that moment, Morezi, like just how much you've changed and what that means. Yeah. It's essentially like almost walking off a cliff and stopping yourself.
So everybody have
I was thinking like about my backup. Yeah, I was thinking about who I would play if Morezi died, but I didn't really want to think about that.
Well, there may have been things that could have been done, but yeah. So
more like resurrection than anything else.
Yeah. But I don't believe that does Tix have that power
Not yet.
No,
Yeah,
it's really
exactly.
expensive too.
Yeah, it's kind of pricey. So NBD.
A diamond worth with 1,000 gold pieces.
Yep, y'all did resurrect a young child once, or y'all helped collect enough. So now you have all come up on this area. What would y'all like to do?
Give me just a second. I'm going to do a wisdom check for Corvus. All right, well, Corvus just goes straight in.
Really?
Yep.
Are you sure?
Yes.
As the dungeon master, I must ask these things.
Corvus just goes straight in. He rolled a 2.
Okay. I appreciate your honesty. So you go straight in. Now, I did say specifically that everyone left their essentially pet or companion or what have you. Did you leave your backpack, Corvus?
I did. It was on the. It's on the
Stuck it to
wall.
like a mast or something.
Yeah, I stuck it to the wall in the hold.
So because the truth is, like, I want to be very clear. This is not just a baby mimic. Like, it's called a baby mimic, but it's not like a baby mimic in a true sense. This is essentially a living construct. It has mimic properties, and it is probably from a mimic, but you don't know if this thing can breathe underwater or not, or if it needs to breathe. You don't know.
That's why I left it up there. I didn't really want to.
Exactly.
Corvus has grown attached to the thing. Just I mean, it's cute. Good pun.
It's very cute.
It's cute. It's got little emerald eyes. You know, it sometimes likes to like do that. You know what cats do when they do that alternating blink thing? One eye closes, then opens, and the other one does as well. Just sort of like rolling eye movements. It sometimes does that. It for something that has basically no expression except for those eyes sometimes, it's adorable. So he hasn't really wanted to like dunk it in water and see what happens. It's not, you don't do that with a kitten. Why would he want to do that with his bag? So yeah, he hasn't really given much weight. Like, it seems to be alive. I don't know if it needs to breathe underwater. I haven't checked. I'm leaving it where it is.
Yep. And the
But will Corvus seem to be alive after this move?
So, what I'm going to immediately allow you to do is to do a reflex saving throw. However, it will be at disadvantage. Why at disadvantage? Because you're wet. You're very wet, and this is very unexpected. So I need you to make a reflex saving throw at disadvantage and tell me what you get.
Okay. First roll, 16. Second roll, 16.
16. 16 is actually enough. Barely. You are able to barely. And by the way, everybody else, you see this, like his new hand, which he did not have exactly before. Obviously, he had a hand, but, a more human hand. As he is starting to go through, immediately you see him just kind of go like a whoop. Like suddenly it's like gravity asserts itself. It's not really gravity. It's because there's no more water and you're moving through a different medium. And one of your hands, just lightning quick, only because of your years and years of rogue training, manages to reach up and grab what is like a chunky stalagmite. You will immediately, oh yes, that's terrible, take 2 points of cutting damage as your hands are gashed on this, and your hand is already beginning to slip. Down below you, as you swing, they make this first big swing, you see a yawning chasm that works down below. There are you get the briefest glimpses of walkways and different paths that are all around the sides, as far as you can tell, all with air. There are also innumerable, think of barnacles on the side of a ship. Now imagine this massive cavern. Imagine shipwrecks just embedded into the side of.
Yeah, that's about right.
Yeah, they have either been smashed against there or they've been placed there by magic, but there are dozens of them, and even in this horrible moment where you think you're falling to your death, you also get the briefest glimpse of movement in some of these passageways and such. The briefest glimpse of humanoid figures. You are also slowly, even as you grab, your hand does a little crack down as you begin to slip down. You are completely in the air. You are not in the water anymore. And your hand is beginning to slip. Would anyone like to do anything?
Why, yes. Penton immediately reacts and just dives straight into the open air.
Okay.
And towards Corvus and grabs him and unfurls his wings.
Gotcha. So describe to me. Well, okay, first of all, I do need you to make a just a straight dexterity grab for him.
Okay.
It's not going to be hard, but I do want to know if you roll a 1 or really, really low.
Right. But about a 19.
I think a 19 will work just fine. Tell me where on his body are you grabbing him? the snake?
Well, easiest would be just at the waist, since he's hanging. So I'll just, grab him in front of me and unfurl my wings and, flap a bit just to not be completely just gliding downward, just to go slowly so we can kind of get a fix for what's going on below us.
Gotcha. And Corvus is obviously much lighter than some, if you were to grab a Thora in her full plate mail or big beefy Merezi, would be a different matter. But,
True.
It's still a human form and you can't hold it indefinitely. But Corvus is obviously one of the more slight of y'all.
Yeah. Hey, buddy, we just, let's not die today, okay?
Corvus switches form.
Oh.
Wait, can he fly as a...
Tell everyone what that looks like, because
Yes,
we haven't
please.
seen this before.
Yes, please.
Penton is now holding a giant raven.
Sweet.
And does this raven make a sound?
No,
Is
it just
in the
flaps
list?
its wings and dives down.
Okay. You begin to dive down, and
You can let go anytime, Penton.
Yeah. I would let go when I start feeling the transformation happening. I'm like, eh.
you're like, gross, someone transforming? That's so weird.
Yeah. Why can't you do it in a flash of light like I do? Come on.
That's right. Why do you have to do werewolf shifties? So you are flying down. You are slowly descending, Penton. What is everybody else doing?
watching in horror, not knowing how to respond.
As a giant bird and a dragon man do something down there.
Mm-hmm.
And so, in stunned silence, since they're underwater, Tix taps Merezi on Merezi's shoulder, and shrugs his shoulder when they make eye contact, and points to go for her to swim down to the side of the bubble.
Cool. She does that?
Right. So what is Penton seeing along the sides? Like, do the shipwrecks and stuff come right up to the edge where the water meets the edge of the bubble?
They are a little further down. They're probably the first one is probably not to 100 feet down or more, more like 100 yards. I should say. But what you are now seeing very plainly, there are various light sources. You think some of them are somewhat magical. Some of them may be literally phosphorescent algae. Again, it is not the baleful blue glow that y'all have seen so many times before. There are creatures walking on the paths on the side of this cavern, and you can see that some of the paths, lead into passageways into the cracks. As far as you can tell, it is all air. While it is very damp and wet and dripping down here, it is all air. As you get closer down, you see the first figure that is close enough to make out. They are paying no attention to you. It is a humanoid form, and there is something wrong with them. You see someone who, I unfortunately, it's a very easy shorthand, and it's not that far off. Think about the second Pirates of the Caribbean movie and the people who were on the ship who were slowly turning into horrible monsters. It's a little like that, but not quite as extreme. So, half of this guy's body is essentially covered in barnacles. One of his arms is a giant crab claw. And his face is badly misshapen. Just like as if your mother was casting that polymorph spell earlier, but did it very badly. And his eyes are glowing like a very dull white glow. And he does not seem to notice you.
Interesting. Now, does there seem to be like a safe, like relatively safe, like stable area?
There are many stable places you can land, because there are dozens and dozens of places where there are paths cut into the wall. They are not particularly safe, like they're not well made or anything, but you can easily land on one, and not fall.
Okay. What I'm going to propose to do is maybe be a transport and kind of just bring people down one at a time, kind of basically feather falling everybody down under my power.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. There is no theoretical reason that wouldn't work. I'd just like you to just give me 2 dexterity rolls, and let me know if you roll a 1 for either one.
Okay. I figured Taka would probably get himself down there just by using his wacky arm to just like slowly descend.
Yeah, in fact, it is, guys. Well, first, let's take care of this. Just give me those 2 rolls.
That's an 18, and that is an 11. So
you are fine. You are able to easily ferry people to the nearest walkway. We'll get to you in just a second, big flying flappy bird. And it is wild to watch Taka. So y'all saw like the slightest moment of this when you were stuck in that crazy underworld. But they just leap through the bubble. And as soon as they start to fall, the hand reaches forward at nothing, grabs nothing, and swings. And as they swing on an upward arc, they then grab hold of nothing again. And as if suddenly invisible poles were appearing. And this is the ridiculous power of someone who is using an arm that has been imbued with the abilities of 2 different immovable rods. That Taka is able to, at will, choose somewhere and cause his arm to lock into place in a way that is solid. And they are easily able to just swing and swing and swing until they get over safely to y'all. It's actually really fun to watch as you are ferrying the rest of the party over to the side. But I'd like to know what Corvus is doing right now. This is the first time that you have taken on this bird form.
Corvus kind of just goes down as far as he feels comfortable going, which is basically to the bottom, if possible, or quote unquote bottom. The furthest walkway from the bubble. Mm-hmm. Mostly because this is the first time he's done this, and it's still kind of surprising to him. Half the reason why he went through the bubble in the first place was because he forgot he was human. And just, expected his talons to kind of grab onto the rock wall. That didn't happen because he has fingers now. So, yeah, everything is kind of happening all at once, and he just kind of finds a spot that looks a lot more secure than a wall or a suspended walkway, and then kind of sit down and return to his human form and ponder what his life has come to. He's very upset.
Okay.
His whole world has been literally changed.
Yeah,
quite frankly, in the space of a couple of hours. Like, he's got a lot to deal with.
It's been a lot. As you sit down for a moment to kind of gather yourself. If you had been Osokai, do y'all remember when you were attacked by a group of miscreants that you easily dispatched when you just started the pentaplanes? Then y'all were attacked by them again as they had gotten horribly warped by the rains.
Oh, was that the guys who had the catapult?
Yeah, y'all still have that ballista.
Okay.
in Audrey. If you had been Osokai, this would look familiar to you. This creature that is like almost half frog, half human, just walks right past you and keeps going down the path, and literally brushes against you. Osokai, Corvus, and keeps going. And his skin is cold and clammy, and his eyes are glowing just a very slight white glow.
Wonderful.
Just to let you know.
As I'm ferrying people down, and as we get to the platform that we're going to, I just want to kind of follow them. Are they like moving with any kind of purpose, or are they just meandering? Do they seem to have some sort of pattern to their movement?
They are. When you watch them like dispassionately from afar, you're reminded of ants. That they absolutely do have a purpose, but that they do not seem to. There's no passion. There's no energy. They are just working. They are doing things. Like some of them are repairing parts of the path. Some of them seem to be gathering items from some of the shipwrecks, or even collecting materials. And a lot of them seem to be gathering at an area far, far below, which is some kind of structure, some kind of large structure that is built, kind of outcropping from the rock itself. Okay. That's what a lot of them seem to be doing. Interesting.
So I'm getting the impression of like mind-controlled slaves or something like that at this point. But that's not cool.
If only we had somebody that was passionately against slavery.
This would have been a magical moment for your other fellow. He would have reacted quite strongly, I'm sure.
Okay, folks. Should we start heading down? Does there seem? I mean, these guys are like walking along this whole structure, so I imagine there's a route of some sort.
You definitely could find one. The problem is that it goes in and out. So like y'all, if you wanted to follow the path, you would have to go into some of the passages and then come out, further down. And as opposed to like what y'all had done before, which was literally flying along the side.
Right. What do you think? Should we go down the middle or walk down? Because I don't know how long I'm going to be able to fly everybody around. It's kind of taxing. I'm still new at this.
You're definitely feeling it. You are far more powerful. When you first got your wings, you could only fly for a very short time, and you have definitely like greatly increased that, but it still has very much limits.
Well, we can try and be a little stealthy.
That's definitely my strong suit.
Chink, 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 chink.
Suit.
Yeah, for real.
Athora, you hear very clearly in your head. Hey, Athora.
Hello?
Hey, it's me. It's Katra. You doing okay?
I'm alive. It's great.
Oh, cool. It's very surprising, to be perfectly honest.
Aww, you care.
Just shut up.
Is she talking out loud, by the way?
She is. Yeah. She's just responding to a voice. Yeah.
That's awesome.
You actually don't know now that you think about it, Thor. As you see the others turn and look at you, you don't know if you could respond in your head or not. You hadn't tried.
Tix.
But no, you just started talking.
No,
about
in this moment, Tix knowingly understands because of his dealings with Destiny Seeker. He sagely nods at Athora. He gives a sympathetic nod. I understand.
But no, you hear it just one more time. Just I just making sure everything was okay. We're the dragon lady's kind of getting things fixed up here, but y'all kind of disappeared, and then I sort of, I don't know, I felt something. And I just want to make sure you were okay.
I think we're pretty good so far.
Oh, cool. Don't die.
I won't.
Great.
Okay.
Athora has a tsundere cat.
She sure does, huh?
It's not like I like you or anything, Baka.
As the link breaks, she says one more time, and don't put the sword together, okay?
Got it.
God, I want to put the sword together. Morezi just looks at.
This is totally
Does Athora
Chekhov's
have the
sword
swords
now.
parts on her? Yeah,
Yeah,
Rezi's
y'all couldn't hear
staring.
that part, but yes. As the two separate halves of the sword are separate halves of your belt, which are augmenting your powers, by the way. And oh man, well, no, that wasn't a magic spell. That was a psychic blast, so it doesn't count. Anyway, remember, anytime you are attacked by a magic attack, you have a chance to reflect it with your sword.
Wow.
That is easily the most powerful upgrade that you got from holding that sword. You literally can Jedi lightsaber a magical attack. So, FYI.
Ooh, would
just
it
keep that
work
in
on
mind.
magic missiles?
It absolutely would work on magic missiles.
Only shocking grasp.
Yeah, theoretically, there's nothing it wouldn't work on as long as it is a magical attack against you.
Wow.
Yeah, well, you have been given this ability by someone who is very, very powerful. Not a god, but very powerful. So, anyway, I'm really telling you that because I'm good at forgetting these things. So, I want to make sure that you know. Do y'all... I apologize, I interrupted. Which way... Do y'all want to try to go inside, or do you want to try to make your way flappy flap down further?
I vote stealthing because I don't want to get to the bottom and be exhausted.
You easily could glide down yourself, but you
Right,
could
I
not
could-
carry
yeah.
everyone.
As a matter of fact, I could even stay up atop and be a lookout until everybody gets closer to the bottom, and then make my way down.
True. As could Corvus.
All right, I'll try to be sneaky.
Corvus is
all
kind
right.
of rocking back and forth slightly, just kind of tossing things over in his head. And he hears Morezi sort of, I'll try and be stealthy, and just kind of
He's healthy.
deep breath. Stands and kind of pushes his insecurities to one side, and just sort of, all right, let's go.
Penton walks over to Corvus and kind of takes him a little bit aside. Corvus, I don't know if you thought about this, but haven't you been dreaming of flying pretty much your whole life? And now you've got it. Isn't that exciting?
Corvus kind of stares Penton directly in the eye and is like, you've had 3 years. I've had 2 hours.
I mean, really, I've only been flying for a few months, but I see your point.
And then he just kind of taps Penton on the shoulder and says, let's get going.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Do you want to stay up here with me, or do you want to go down with them?
Bells again looks again at Penton and then very, very obviously turns his head and looks at Morezi and then looks back and says, do you really want me to stay up here?
They could probably use help with the stealth anyway.
He again pats him on the shoulder and is like, a lookout's probably a good idea, but they need someone at the head.
Good point.
We got 2 loud ones and one. We got 2 big loud ones and 1 small loud one.
Hey now.
Where's the lie? As they say.
They're both the same picture.
That's right. That's right.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Speaking of the loud and the soft, I would like everyone except for Pinton to give me a stealthy move silently roll. If you do not have that skill, you add your dexterity modifier. And let me know what you get.
Man, I have a pretty good modifier, but 7 just is so fitting for my character.
Hopefully this is a group check.
I got 17.
It is 17, quite a bit better.
Tix has a mighty 13.
13.
Wow.
They got that dexterity belt, got the little monkey belt.
Yeah. Raised it up from an 11.
That's right. And Taka got a 22. Unsurprising. Sneaky monk. And, of course, the very unstealthy Corvus. What did you get?
32.
32. Okay. So I want you, Corvus, to tell me what you do to stop Marezi from making too much noise when she starts to stumble and, literally she's about to put her hand on a loose scree of gravel and send, everything skittering down the side as y'all are making your way down.
And there's a set of teacups on it.
Yes. There's also 2 guys inexplicably walking with a large pane of glass and a fruit stand.
Welcome, everybody, to episode 161, Keystone Cops. Corvus will kind of... There's not much he could do to stop Marezi doing anything that she wants to do. It's just... She's kind of willful in that respect, and if she's going to fall, she's going to fall. But Corvus kind of he kind of bends down a little and just kind of hisses, "Hey, you got some training from that bear dude, right? That bear man that used to be with you."
Mm-hmm.
Do you remember what he told you about, being quiet and stealthy? Do you remember that stuff?
Kinda.
Kinda? Kinda. Well, can you kinda remember a bit more about that? Just try and remember. Think of this cavern as the forest floor, and you're hunting a deer. Lots and lots of tasty deer.
Right.
Lots of tasty deer.
Yes.
Walk like you're in the forest hunting deer. Or your favorite food. I don't know if mashed potatoes can walk, but...
Oh, it's... the venison is up there.
Then just... pretend this is the forest floor. Walk quickly but quietly. You got this. I believe in you.
I think that advice does actually help her because because she has a lot more experience with forest floor than anything else. So trying to translate those skills is actually worth her time.
I love it.
Excellent.
Like I said, y'all are successful because this is an average. So that advice actually helps you, and you begin seeing it the way that he describes it, and you begin remembering your teachings from Osokai, and begin to make your way more stealthily down. It takes y'all a solid hour, to make your way down. You are all a little tired by the time you get down. So, Pinton, are you going to kind of just stay at the very top, or are you going to kind of keep pace with them? Just
I would
for
say,
logistical purposes.
I would basically just kind of maybe guesstimate how far along they might be, kind of pick spots where I can see where they would probably be emerging eventually, and just kind of kind of hop back and forth, glide back and forth between outcroppings or what have you, just to keep an eye on where they're going to pop out again.
Okay,
and see if there's anything they're going to be running into when they do emerge.
as you do, you pass more and more of these ships. Many of them have literally skeletons just hanging from, at cantered angles in various pirate gear as they have lost their lives years and years before, no doubt to the Kraken. And as you get closer and closer, you begin to make out more of the structure down below. It has a very natural feel to it. It's built to resemble like a giant shell, giant crab. It's got that sort of curved, iridescent quality to it. But it also resembles a humanoid church in that it has like spires going up. But there is a very definite entrance, like a main entrance at the floor of this, enormous crack that y'all have made your way down. Okay. As well as dozens of these misshapen creatures who are going to and fro. Many of them are actively working on this structure. They're on like rickety scaffolding and adding on to it, improving it, working on it, the way a construction crew would.
One thing, while I'm making my way around and down, Penton's going to have his detect magic eyes on, just in case, something pings anywhere along the way.
Okay. Well, there are absolutely flashes of magic from inside some of the ships, but not much. Not much. As you had literally seen, these people have gathered items from these ships, and you suspect probably most of them have been picked clean over time. But the structure below is glowing a dull, deep red of magic. The kind of magic that, like, if you tried to look at the staff of Seraphim directly with your spell, not as powerful as that, but very, very powerful.
Okay.
Throb of magic is coming off. None of the servants, or whatever you would call them, have any magic on them.
Okay.
Can Corvus take a moment to study the structure to find a point that might be weak, possibly to an explosion?
Absolutely. I would like you to give me a roll for that. If you have a skill that applies to explosion, otherwise it would be a straight intellect roll.
Straight intellect it is, I guess. I can't really think of anything that might... gather information? No, that's more of a detective thing.
Maybe dungeoneering?
Yeah, Osakai had that. Corvus doesn't, sadly. He's got knowledge local, but this isn't really local.
Local.
And knowledge midwifery, but unless this thing decides it wants to give birth, there's not much help there either. Maybe a dedicated spot check?
Sure. I will allow it.
Okay, I'll take that then. 19 plus 8, so 27?
7.
Okay. This structure, unlike the paths that you were on, is much better made. It is much higher quality, clearly a lot more time and detail. However, when something is made by zombie-like minions, the craft is not to the level that you might desire. It has more to do with the fact that it's been made over a long period of time, and so it's very sturdy. However, is a part that they are adding on to. They seem to be expanding one of the spires, and you think that if you placed an explosive there, it would likely do the most damage, possibly even collapsing the ceiling of the structure. But no guarantee.
No guarantee. That's okay. Alright.
There are a lot of unknowns, like what this is exactly made of, how thick it is. There's a lot you don't know.
That's fair. I'll keep that in mind. It could come in handy. I have 1 egg left.
Okay. Would anyone else like to do something?
Can you reiterate the exact scene that we're looking at? It's a big building.
Yes.
What are the entrances?
So I want you to imagine a huge medieval Gothic cathedral, and now warp it and made out of the substance that shells are made out of. It's pitted and strange and warped, with huge spires going dozens of feet up into the air. It has windows that are completely opaque, and yet there is a light emanating from it. There is a huge double door that is open a crack enough so that these people can come in and out unimpeded, but you cannot actually see inside.
Cool.
Hey, small boy, you should try and see if you can take a look in in there. I bet they won't notice you. They didn't notice you before.
How far away is this thing, by the way?
It's probably about 100 feet from where you are now, because y'all are, you're not right next to it.
I was about to say, Corvus kind of cocks his eyes up to Morezi, and he's like, we probably should get a bit closer first.
I do want to mention one quick thing. These people, these things, they do see you. You see their eyes as they look up, note you. They just don't seem to care. Just an FYI. They're not complete automatons. They do have some intelligence of some sort. You don't exactly know how that works. But they do see you.
We haven't really presented ourselves as a threat.
Very true.
They've got a job to do. That seems to be what their quote unquote programming is. So as long as we're not interrupting that, it just makes sense to me that they're just going to keep going and just there's people here. Oh, well, we got a job to do. Let's go.
One final thing. There is writing in an arch across the top of this structure.
Can we read it?
I don't think any of you can read it. It is in Aquan.
Oh, jeez.
No.
That's really specific.
Yeah.
We're underwater, not surprising, really.
Yeah. Did I memorize that? No. Dang.
Comprehend languages is not on your list.
I was not expecting to have to read anything down here. So that's no good. Oh well. Was a thought.
Corvus almost instinctively tries to copy it down, but it's sort of it's not amazing because again he's not a Kenku anymore, so his perfect transcription is less than perfect. So he kind of gets the shapes, but I'm fairly sure that if you looked at it, it wouldn't make any sense anyway.
Yeah, it probably says "speak friend" and enter anyway.
He just kind of shakes his head. Corvus just kind of shakes his head, scrunches up the parchment, and just kind of tosses it over his shoulder, where it bounces off Morezi's thigh.
And that triggers the trap. No.
When you say big, enormous doors, are we talking big enough for a kraken to fit through?
No.
Okay.
The kraken would not be able to fit through that. It, might be able to stick. It definitely could stick a tentacle through or something like that. But no, it actually, the kraken itself could not fit through that door. The kraken is over 100 feet long.
So we're talking basilica doors.
Yeah, they're really. I mean, they are really, really big. They're probably 30 feet high. But the kraken could not actually squeeze himself in, even though he was essentially a giant squid. I would say one quick thing, but not that it terribly matters to y'all. He was a giant squid when y'all saw him on the Isle of the Dead, but he wasn't quite a giant squid. He was different. There was something different about him. He wasn't just a giant squid. He looked like he had been altered in some way. Just an FYI. Kind of got you thinking about it when you're seeing all these misshapen dudes. Yeah. Anyway, and that's when a sound rings out from the, I'm going to just call it cathedral. Bong! And instantly, all of the workers stop. But they do not turn and look at you. They turn and look at the cathedral. And again, bong! Rings out. And way down, this crack that you're in extends off into the distance, like past where you can see. You can see a shadow moving in the distance. And you recognize the form of the crack-lithid. And that's where we'll end! Chafing Armor, episode 161. Great job, everybody.
Wow.
Thanks.
Very cool.
Y'all did a great job. We are going to have lots of fun with the upcoming issue episode. Lots of great fun things coming up for everybody. If somebody would like to listen to Chafing Armor and maybe has just heard this randomly, what would be a good place they could go to do that?
On
Spotify.
Spotify?
Spotify?
YouTube.
Yep, Spotify. YouTube. We have a YouTube channel. We've had many listeners find us on YouTube.
And your favorite
We love.
podcaster.
You can pretty much go to any major podcaster, you'll find us. And by the way, if you have one and we're not on there, shoot me an email, Mr. Corley, MrCorley @gmail.com, and let me know. I'll add it to it. But we sure appreciate our listeners. You guys are all the best. You can check us out on our Patreon page at Chafing Armor, where we'll put up some more fun stuff for y'all to see. And we will definitely be having some more crack-lithid fun very soon. Thanks for playing.
Thanks for not killing us.
Thank you all for listening.
Y'all take care, and we will roll with you.